Hey there and welcome to this quick overview of the new things that the free Divisimate 1.4 update will bring to the software. With this update, a lot has been changed under the hood to lay the groundwork for things to come and to make your life easier in small but significant ways. So let's see what's new. The biggest change you'll notice right away is the license management. With this version, we are switching over to a new licensing system that is more stable and reliable in the activation and deactivation process. And most importantly, it gives you control over both your license and your downloads directly. So you'll be able to deactivate your copy remotely yourself, activate without an internet connection, and have the most recent installer download always available in your user area. We've made a separate video showing the details of the new system and we'll link it in the description. So check that out if you want to know the details. Here we will move on to the next thing. The biggest technical change is the introduction of the Nextmidi Hub. Up until now, Divisimate created and managed its own Divisimate ports, which generally worked very well. But once you close Divisimate on Mac, the ports would disappear. The Nextmidi Hub is a helper application that runs in your system tray and that takes care of the port management in the background. That means that Divisimate ports persist on Mac when you close Divisimate and your connections don't get damaged. When you click on the Nextmidi Hub symbol in the system tray, you see the option to quit the hub, which will also close the ports, and it shows the current configuration of ports. For Divisimate 1.4, there is just the one configuration, but the introduction of the Nextmidi Hub is also very closely related to other things that will come in the future, so stay tuned for that. The licensing and the Nextmidi Hub are the two technically biggest new things, but then there are also a lot of little other changes and improvements because we took this opportunity to do a little bit of housekeeping. For example, Divisimate will now remember temporarily disconnected input devices and connect them once they appear again. So if you turn off your keyboard or it loses connection for a moment, you won't have to reconnect manually in the input section. Divisimate will also now remember the bypass or power state in which it was last closed. So close Divisimate in bypass, open it up again in bypass. Switching between performances is now a bit quicker as we introduced a new preset format. On first startup, Divisimate 1.4 will prompt you to convert your old presets and performances to bring them to the new format. But don't worry, the old files remain untouched as the new version of Divisimate introduces a new default location for presets that is more accessible and easy to remember. Presets and performances will now just live under user/documents/nextmidi on both Mac and PC. This also means that you can just go back to your old version of Divisimate and find everything unchanged because the old files are still there. When you look at the software, you'll also notice that the whole UI has been adjusted and fine-tuned in a lot of little places. For example, the trigger plugin has gotten a soft redesign to reflect the most common use case of using it for key switches. So the default behavior is now that only one of the lines is active and activating another line automatically turns off the previous selection. You can still multi-select though by holding down the Alt key. Also, you no longer need to hit the checkbox exactly to activate a line, but you can click anywhere on the line to activate it. This kind of small quality of life improvement you'll find all over the app. In the repeater plugin, for instance, you are now able to continuously paint in steps, which is pretty satisfying to be honest. And most menus where you would put in a number now both take keyboard input after a double click and allows you to drag the number up and down with the mouse. The same is true for the note values on the trigger plugin, so no more display filling drop-down menus there. On top of these changes to the main software, alongside with this update, we are releasing a new version of our remote control app Divisicontrol for Android and iOS. The connection is more stable, newer Android versions are now supported again, and you'll find that in the remote app, the performance quick load menu is now available as well. So that's an overview of the changes and improvements in Divisimate 1.4. Have a look at the changelog in the video description if you want to have a written overview of everything. As you may have noticed, we have been very quiet this last year, and part of the reason for that is that we've been really deep in development on new exciting things. Now the wait is almost over and there's really cool stuff coming this year. So if you want to be the first to know, subscribe to this channel, join our Discord server, or follow us on the social media platform of your choice. For this video, that is all. Thanks for watching. See you next time.